I'm Kat Iniba, and thank you so much for tuning in to Halo Halo, your one stop for all things entertainment, lifestyle, and community for our APA audience. Now, the presidential primaries takes place June 7th. There are a ton of things that we need to be aware of and be sure that we vote because our vote counts. Here to tell us more is Dean C. Logan from the Registrar-Recorder. Welcome, Dean.
Thank you.
Now, there's a lot of important things that we need to notice before we go to the presidential primary elections, right?
That's right. So this is an interesting election because it's really two elections combined into one. It's the presidential primary where we're helping to select the nominees of the political parties that will appear on the November general election ballot.
Right.
But it's also the statewide primary. So down ballot, we start with the presidential race, but then we have an open U.S. Senate race. Senator Barbara Boxer here in California is retiring, so we have an open seat for the U.S. Senate. 34 candidates are vying for that seat, and we'll narrow that down to 2 before the November election.
Right.
Then all the members of the U.S. House of Representatives that represent California, members of our state Senate, state assembly. Here in L.A. County, we have 3 members of the Board of Supervisors, our district attorney on the ballot, and then as you go down, then you have your local measures, your city races and ballot measures.
Now that's a lot to educate ourselves, but we still have time. Where can we go for more information?
Well, a couple of resources are available. You can go to our website, which is LAvote.net, and there you can download information about the candidates, the contests, also check your registration. We also mail to every voter a sample ballot that will actually give you a facsimile of what you will see when you go in to vote, so you're prepared. We actually encourage people to review that, mark it, and take it with you. It makes it a little easier. You don't have to do that, but it does make it easier. And then on the back panel of that, it will also tell you your polling place and information about how to request a vote by mail ballot if you want to vote that way.
Now, you mentioned polling place. How does that all work?
So our polling places are located near your home, so they are specific to your neighborhood. They're staffed by community volunteers, so in LA County, huge county, have 25,000 poll workers who work at 4,800 polling locations on election day. They open at 7 a.m., close at 8 p.m. We want voters to know that there are resources available for them there, so we have bilingual support, we have translated materials. We don't want it to be an intimidating experience. We want people to feel comfortable. Also encourage people to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not something we do every day. And as you said in the opening, we want people to have their voice heard and to make their mark, and they can do that best by showing up on June 7th.
Yeah, exactly. And if they can't show up at their polling place, hopefully they registered by mail. Right. So then they can actually mail it.
Mail in their ballot.
And if they can't mail it in time, they can drop it off at any
polling place on election day.
But the polling places are open 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Correct.
On June 7th. Right. Now, what efforts can be made to encourage Asians to vote?
Well, you know what, statistically what we've learned talking to academics and people who do polling data is that the people that have the most influence on getting non-voters to become voters are their peers. So it's family members, it's colleagues, it's people that you spend your time with. Sometimes it's the person you see on TV. So if people see Kat that you think voting is important, then that's going to have an influence too. So really what we do is encourage people to talk about this. You don't have to, if you don't want to talk about who you're voting for or what your political positions are, you don't have to do that, but you can certainly share with others your value of voting and why you think it's important to cast a vote. And that's that value of that I voted sticker too. We encourage everyone to wear that with pride and encourage everybody else to show up.
Your voice does count, and if you don't vote, then you can't complain later on.
No, that's right. And when you don't vote, you're actually giving your voice away to those who are voting. So it really does make a difference.
Yeah, it's very important to vote. Now, you make it so easy too for people whose first language isn't English, because everything is translated, and like you said, you can go to a polling place and get help. Right. But you can also request in language forms.
Yes, you can request your materials in your first language, and again, if you need assistance, just ask.
Well, all we have to do is head to LAvote.net for more info.
That's your best resource.
Thank you so much, Dean, for joining us today and sharing all this wonderful information.
Thank you very much.
Again, for more information, all you have to do is head to LAvote.net. The presidential primary elections do take place June 7th, so be sure to be prepared and vote. We'll be back.